to some of my Protestant friends, they always say this when it comes to marriage counseling. How can a Catholic priest or a monk who stays single help me with my marriage since they have never got married? Or how can a full-time minister help me with my struggles in my work since they don't work in a secular social setting? This is a typical "they don't understand me" mindset. You hear this type of talking among teenagers. My parents don't understand me. You adults don't understand me. When it comes to teenagers, I admit that to be true to an extent because every generation is stepping on a path different from their predecessors. But when it comes to adults who got married and started to work, I will say this. Either you have mental illness or you are extremely psychologically immature. What makes you think that one must understand you to help you? Put aside the spiritual things, do you go to a doctor because they have the same sickness as you do? No, on the contrary, you don't want a sick doctor to treat you if he can't even treat himself. Do you go to school to learn from people as ignorant as you do? No, you do exactly the opposite. Not only so, a learned people, even if he went through the same process from being ignorant to being knowledgeable, isn't necessarily able to teach. So how is it that you want to ask someone who has the same struggle as you do to solve your problem? How does the same experience become the criteria of your helper? The answer is simple. People on many occasions don't want to find solutions to solve their problems. They want to find consent to their feelings, especially when they feel bad. In other words, people only want to hear what they want to hear. They want support. They want people to be on their side in a struggle or in a conflict. They want people to endorse the bad things they want to do to make their paths easier. They don't want to solve the problem in the right or wise way. Sometimes they don't want to solve the problem at all. Some people who want to get divorced probably don't want to hear anything that will reconcile them with their spouses. That to be said, people do need to have knowledge about things before they can help. A teacher needs to know their subject. A politician needs to know how to organize a society. A doctor needs to know different kinds of diseases. These knowledges are not necessarily experienced knowledges, but people need to know something to help others. Now go back to the questions we mentioned in the beginning. Can a priest or a monk who doesn't experience the things you and I experience help us with our struggles? The answer is yes. We don't go to them because they have secular experiences. On the opposite, we go to them exactly because they don't have these struggles. That's why ancient people wanted religious people to dedicate themselves solely in communion with deities, so that when people like you and I have problems in our life, we go to them to hear the purest oracles from the divine. The idea that a separate holiness doesn't exist is a distinctive modernist Western Protestant idea. People believe that they themselves can have perfect communication with the divine, albeit they are bounded with all kinds of secular concerns. They want to bring the divine down to the earth, a popular idea welcomed by almost all modern people, but in turn, they eliminate the divinity and elevate the broken humanity. And they are proud of this. That's exactly what we see in the society today. That is exactly the popular spirituality. Some may ask, surely this can be modern. Don't ancient Hindus or Buddhists also believe that their humanity is somehow divine? Maybe, but not by itself on its current state. People need to suffer and practice asceticism to bring out their divinity. That's why some of their sages stay away from the popular world and go to the mountains and forests to meditate and do asceticism. So, final remark, God became man, not for the purpose of understanding human experience, nor did he blur the distinction between divinity and humanity, but for the purpose that man may follow his divine steps to put off our own brokenness, to deny our own wills and passions, to deny ourselves, and to put on himself and participate in his divinity. So it's not about man of God understanding you. It's about you giving up yourself and attend to God's understanding.